Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so well alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor, your host. And we are going to be celebrating and giving a tribute to Veterans Day with Corporal Benn D. Lofton from the USMC. And thanks for being here, Ben, and for helping me explain the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day and
Sure.
paying a tribute to other veterans out there. Because if it wasn't for people like you, we wouldn't have our American way of life. So
Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks for having me here.
It's an honor. I love having days where we can be able to explain the mental health behind things that people don't quite recognize and or appreciate yet then forget about.
Yeah, it's important to talk about it.
I have a friend that I was just talking to last night, and as a veteran, having trouble finding a career right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, things like that. So
because of struggles that he's going through, or just the job market?
Job market.
Okay.
Which is adding to struggles.
Gotcha. Yeah, it all starts snowballing together.
Hi, Antonio. How are you? And thanks for watching on LinkedIn and some innovations. Hi, Tiffany and Ben. Happy Veterans Day. And
Bye. Happy Veterans Day, everybody who's listening. And thank you for listening.
But it irks me when people say Happy Memorial Day, though. And that's going to be like something we talked about today.
I get it.
Yeah. it's happy day off pretty much, but it's kind of like for those that have lost family, it's kind of doesn't make sense.
it's a difficult time for a lot of people.
Our family, our country, and thank you for your service. So, Joe.
Thanks, Miss Ignacio.
Anyway, so we're gonna start the show as soon as Ed unmutes. We can get started, so I don't miss my radio cue. And so Ed, please unmute, and then we'll get started on the live radio. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna love it.
All right, let's talk. You know.
I am. No, but I'm
pretty
probably
easy,
on the
so-
radio right now. So, Ed, if you could unmute, please.
Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, and thanks for listening. This is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we have a very special topic. We're going to be paying a tribute to Veterans Day and basically honoring all the veterans who have served our country and preserved our American way of life. So without them, we would not have our freedom and all of the options of having the American way of life. Before I introduce my guest, I'd like to say hi to Ed.
Hey, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Happy Veterans Day.
Yes.
Yes. And we're going to be talking about the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, as well as paying a tribute to a lot of veterans, and hopefully a lot of veterans call in and share their take on it as well, their struggles after serving our country and what they've been through, the side effects. There's a lot of suicides after serving our country, a lot of depression, drug and substance abuse, job difficulties, like we were just talking about before, and there's a lot of resources like crisis hotline and veterans crisis line and things like that we can utilize and share on the show as well. So you're all welcome to call in and share, and when you do, go say hi to Ed, and it's 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, and either pay a tribute to our veterans listening or leave a comment on the live chat. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn Live, YouTube at MOC with Tiffany. You can just do Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. And same with LinkedIn, Tiffany Werner, or at MOC on Facebook, MOC with Tiffany, or on Twitter as well. So, and join the live show. It's always better watching it live. So my guest today is Ben Dunsworth Lofton. He's a corporal from the United States Marine Corps. And up until now, I never knew your middle name was Dunsworth.
That is my mom's maiden name, and I'm proud to have it as part of my name.
That's funny. That's what happened with my dad. And
yeah,
his
my grandfather didn't have any sons to carry on the family name, so my mom gave myself and my brothers all our middle names of her maiden name.
just bait for later on, I'm sure.
Oh boy, I'm sure.
Anyway, served a lot in the country and has been in law enforcement ever since afterwards as well. A lot of his family has been in law enforcement as well as serving our country. And he's a first and foremost a patriot and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, and where he served as a non-commissioned officer, Alpha Company, Weapons Platoon of the 1st Battalion, 2nd Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division, along with the assignment to Marine Detachment aboard the U.S.S. And I'm going to
Canopus.
and Marine Corps Security Force Company, Kings Bay Naval Submarine Base. And now he's concluding his 22nd year in law enforcement. And I served as a patrol sergeant, but also as a detective, field training officer, community service sergeant, and platoon commander for the Special Incidents Response Team. And
That really makes me
welcome
sound
to-
important, but I'm just a normal guy.
yeah. And welcome to Moments of Clarity, Corporal
Well, thank you
Ben
for having me,
D.
Tiffany. This is
Lofton.
really a great honor.
What an honor. Well, thank you for all you did. It was like this. I even skipped through some of your bio because I figured that was personal
Sure.
stuff that you wanted to share. But
Yeah, of course. Whatever you want to know, I'll talk about. I'm an open
we got
book.
through your middle name.
Dunsworth. Yeah, it's my mom's maiden name.
No, I get
And-
that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after the show. My dad has, and same thing.
Gotcha.
And anyway, let's talk about you. What encouraged you to sign up for the Marines in the first place?
Well, to be honest with you, growing up, I always wanted to go in the Air Force. I was part of Civil Air Patrol when I was a young teenager. And my brother Jimmy wanted to be a Marine when we were kids. And along came this first Persian Gulf War, and I felt a need to do something. And being foolish, 19-year-old, I thought you could sign up, jump on a train, and go. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that's not how it is. So I just was driving by the Marine recruiter one day and went in and signed up. And it was the best decision of my life.
I'm glad that you could say that. I mean, definitely, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes.
And so, what does Semper Fi mean to you?
I mean, Semper Fidelis is always faithful to God, country, and core, and always faithful to everything. Your core values, whatever those might be.
And so, when you got out of the Marines or out of serving, was it difficult for you?
Well, the difficult for me is, like many hundreds and thousands of veterans, is you go from living, eating, sleeping with people that are like you get along with, and you would die for and fight with, and to coming out to you're basically by yourself. And that I think is difficult for veterans, especially Marines, because we're a tight group of service, and we're always together. We don't have separate rooms. We usually bunk at least 4 to a room, or in the field we're always together. So we go out together, we drink together, we celebrate together, we cry together, everything. So coming out and being alone, I think, is difficult for a lot of veterans, and I think that was my biggest problem.
Same with my family. My father and my uncle are Marines, and I have the flag from one of them behind me, which is a different holiday, Memorial Day, more like to celebrate.
Yes.
But I still like to put the flag out when I can. I mean, it's
Of course.
in my living room all the time, but at the same time, like not on the show. But they came out from Vietnam.
Yes.
Which didn't have a big celebration. Hey, welcome home.
Welcome home, all Vietnam veterans that are listening or out
Yes.
there. I always say that to Vietnam veterans. My neighbor Dave Smith is a Vietnam veteran, and he tells me how how he was treated when he came home, and it just makes your stomach turn. I can't even believe that was going on. So it's horrible, but I think we've come a long way since then.
Yes. I just think that at that time, with everyone that was drafted rather than willingly enlisted,
Yeah,
didn't really want to serve, but were forced to a war, and I think that had a lot to do with it. That the civilians weren't as okay with it, and it was.
I think a big difference between, like, say, World War II and Vietnam, in my opinion, is World War II, the entire country was brought into the need to fight in the entire World War. The Vietnam War, what really the whole country wasn't mobilized, and I think that might make a difference.
Mm-hmm. I think so too, and a lot of people didn't make sense of why we were fighting.
Right.
Didn't.
Sure.
But at the same time, the veterans that came back, not only did they not get the welcome home that they deserved, but also, like, I remember a lot of PTSD that was not even post-traumatic stress symptoms, And I want to talk a little bit about that though. But
Sure.
they were feeling upset about things that reminded them of what happened. So
Yeah.
but weren't able to seek counseling. I mean, they could have, however, it wasn't as
It
was
until
there was so much
recently there was
stigma.
a huge stigma against mental health, which I
You know?
think I know, in fact, that we've come a long way. Even in my, I'm only 49, but in my adulthood, we've come a long way in recognizing it. And I think the first step in solving a problem is admitting there is one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that people are not alone. Like
Yes,
that it's
you're
okay
not
to
alone.
not be okay. It's okay to have seen something that was traumatic. So, like, my father had 3 Purple Hearts, and
Wow.
imagine, like, what he had witnessed. I mean, 3.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know,
can't even imagine.
grenade shrapnel in his hand that he couldn't even open it up. They refused to remove, and
Wow.
died years later from Agent Orange, which, for those that don't know what that is, they sprayed chemicals over the soldiers so that they would kill the plants because Vietnam's a jungle.
Yeah. It was a
And
defoliage agent, and it killed
my uncle,
the jungle and our people. So it's terrible.
years later. So you get 3
Yeah,
Purple Hearts.
yeah.
You're like, I'm safe. Now I'm struggling with this aftermath of post-traumatic stress, and then cancer, like as a helmet, like around his brain.
Yeah.
Years after. So 3
And then
Purple
being
Hearts,
treated by American society after all that, how they were treated and stigmatized. The Vietnam veterans had a horrible stigma against them, which is, to me, disgusting. But we've come a long way with that too. I like to think so.
Yeah. So anyway, like a lot of things like suicide and
Yeah.
not knowing what to do, especially like, so you're this hero in the uniform, which, by the way, I think, no offense to anyone else, but the Marines have the coolest uniform.
I agree.
Formal, just whatever you call it.
The best uniform for the best service. Let's be honest.
I don't want to upset
I'm
any
biased,
of our Navy
though,
or
of
Air
course.
Force or Army friends
Yeah.
here.
It takes
But
all of us to protect America. So we each have a different part.
medics, the cooks, everything. It takes a
Yeah,
team.
everybody.
So, other symptoms of post-traumatic stress could be feeling irritated, angry, having angry outbursts, having difficulty sleeping, trouble concentrating, and being jumpy or easily startled, things like that. Feeling numb or having lost interest in things that you used to care about, and nightmares. I said something like this earlier, but nightmares, vivid images or memories or flashbacks of the event that make you feel like it's happening all over again. And I witnessed my father having those symptoms. I think that's why he self-medicated, but that's where the counseling nowadays comes in, because
Yes.
people like myself are trained to help with post-traumatic stress. If you're
Yeah.
listening and you would like to call in and join the conversation, you're welcome to 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. Say hi to Ed when you do, but it's time for our commercial break. And if you just hang tight, and we will be back in just a moment with Moments of Clarity. Please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
If you're a show host, gamer, live streamer, podcast host, or radio show host that would like your message to get out and reach up to 30 platforms, then there's an affordable way to do that. It's called Restream. Restream makes it easy to broadcast professional live videos from your browser to multiple social platforms at once. Start your live show with guests, brand it with logos and overlays, and create an interactive experience for your audience. Learn more at Restream.io and mention Moments of Clarity for special offers.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hi, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're paying a special tribute to Veterans Day. And I would like to discuss the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and give a special thanks to all the veterans out there that have served our country and preserved our American way of life. And with me today, I have Corporal Benn D Lofton from the United States Marine Corps. I'm saying
former. I'm not currently active or anything.
Right.
Retired. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes. Yes. But I'm highlighting your middle name just because you're like, it's my mom's name.
I love it. I love our middle name is a proud part of our name and our family history. So highlighted. I love it.
There's nothing I can embarrass you about him. Okay,
nope.
So anyway,
I'm an open book, Tiffany.
I know that's what's so great about you, to be honest, is like just always serving the country and taking things with a grain of salt all the time. And
don't sweat the small stuff, right?
Yeah. So and I'm welcoming callers to call in 866-826-1340. Join the live discussion and talk about Veterans Day. If you are a veteran, talk about what you've been through, anything like that. This is a special tribute to Veterans Day. I have my one of the flags from one of my fallen soldiers in my family, but they're still veterans, especially as a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. So still veteran, but yeah, it's more, the flag more applies to Memorial Day. So 866-826-1340. So getting to that, by the way, Memorial Day versus Veterans Day. So Memorial Day is would you like to explain?
Memorial Day and is nothing new to the United States. It goes back to ancient Greek times. The ancient Greeks had a special day that they remembered the fallen from their wars every year. But ours really came together after the Civil War. I think, if I remember correctly, it was celebrated in all different towns, but a Civil War general, John Logan, began to petition for a National Day of Remembrance. And that's really started getting where it got started. And it just became what it is today. We take a day and we remember our fallen soldiers and our Marines and our airmen and our Coast Guardsmen and our everybody that has donned the uniform of our country and fallen in defense of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that our fallen aren't always fallen in war. A lot of our fallen suffer from scars that aren't seen. So years later, the effects of that, I take that on the Memorial Day as well for my personal view.
Yeah. I think that the memorial, like what you're saying, is Civil War era, but that Memorial
Yeah.
Day honors those who died in military
Yeah,
service.
yeah. Well, it
Day.
honors the fallen of our country, the
Mhm.
fallen people who stood in defense of our country and fell in defense of it.
And Veterans Day celebrates the living and the dead.
Yes, that's correct. We celebrate our veterans of all ages and all services and everything. So thank you,
Jimmy
everybody out there,
Dunsworth,
and our current active military that are at this moment around the world protecting us. I always don't forget about them either. So that's very important.
very important. So Jimmy Dunsworth leaves a message and says, "What's that picture behind Ben?" I'm assuming your brother.
That is my brother.
Jimmy.
My brother. Yeah, he's a
866
veteran of the
1340.
U.S. Army Military Police Corps, by the way. But that picture is a picture that one of my Marine brothers, Anthony Vince Chaffee, drew as a dedication to like our era of like the first Persian Gulf War till like the War on Terror. And he had been deployed along with several other of my friends to Somalia. A lot of people don't remember that, but a good reference to that is Black Hawk Down. The Marines were sent in before that, and they were relieved by other forces. But Vince Chaffee was one of the veterans of that, and this is on rotation in the National Marine Corps Museum, and we're very proud of that. And he gave me a copy and signed it for me during one of our we get together annually, and when I found that he signed it for me and gave it to me. I'm very proud of it, and if he's listening, I thank him and can't wait to see him again. So he's in Maryland.
And that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that you have things like that, and that you get together with your other soldiers.
We do,
and you toast
the last couple
the
years.
fallen.
This year we haven't, and last year because of the pandemic, we all live in different states, and it's kind of difficult because we don't know the restrictions or whatever. But yeah, my buddy started a tradition several years ago where we get together during the days or week around the Marine Corps birthday, which is the day before Veterans Day, November 10th, 1775. The Marine Corps was created, and it's a tradition that no matter where you are, active duty, former, you stop and remember the Marine Corps history and the legacy of it. And I actually did that last night at work with the former Marines that I have at my job, at my department.
Because
we cut a cake.
Something
we cut a cake with a sword. We read General Legion's message, the whole deal, but it wasn't a formal ceremony. It was just us, which is kind of I like those better usually.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate you always asked for my dad and my father's
of course
name to salute them as well, which means a lot to me.
We take a shot for everybody that we can, that we knew or know of, that has come and gone in service of our country in the Marine Corps.
We have a comment for YouTube. Corporal Ben, thank you so much for your service and wishing a happy Veterans Day. Lots of love from Mumbai, India.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for listening in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great that
really
mental health is global.
That's the miracle of the internet. It's unbelievable what we can do now.
And then you got Mary Jane Lofton.
That's my mom.
Who gave you the beautiful middle name? Hi, Mom. So anyway, welcome to call in 866-826-1340 and just join us. Or just say hi to your son or your brother or fellow Marine, fellow veteran.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything formal or have a question. But it is a shame that things such as post-traumatic stress and suicide is big for veterans as well.
Yeah.
You know, because those who have served, crisis can be heightened by their experiences during military service. And then there's a lot of like what ifs and should haves and things like that follow. And the veterans that I counsel, they don't understand why they're feeling anxious or alone or thinking of suicide and things of that, because there's some that I've met that you can eat a bowl of rice, go right back out, like it doesn't even affect them. And then some, they're wondering why they're living with these feelings of regret or the nightmares and the flashbacks, or the feeling secluded in their garage because they don't want to be seen by out a window, or and isolating and things like that, and wondering why the person next to them isn't going through the same thing, but they are. And then it makes them kind of feeling like they're weak or something, but it's not. Everyone handles a crisis differently.
No,
And it doesn't mean that it's a sign of weakness or strength or whatever.
not at all.
It's just our brain.
Not at all. Not in the least. I think that recognizing that there's a problem and looking for assistance, I think that's strength.
Yes.
That's strength all the way. But I think one of the saddest parts of that is the isolation that people feel. And I think it's important that they understand that they aren't alone. There's tens of thousands of us that feel the same way and can relate in some way. And there's a multitude of resources out there. A lot more than there used to be. We've come a long way. I said that earlier, but we really have come a long way.
I don't think you can say that enough, by the way. There's so much more room to grow, of course.
Yeah,
but
of course.
even when I started to do this show 7 years ago, it was hard for me to even get clients or guests on the show. Like, they were like, I don't want to be putting myself out there and afraid to talk about mental health. Now I'm booked up through January. Like,
that's fantastic. So you're succeeding in ending the stigma that's out there.
Well, partially, but I mean, like, I think the world is being more open-minded about it,
Yes.
as well. So, I mean, I had a little piece to do with it, maybe, but I'm not saying that. Like, I'm saying,
well, you
I think
and
the
others
world
in
is
your
coming
field,
a long way. NFL
your
players are
field
coming out.
is combating this. You guys are the ones that everyone needs, and I'm always here for anybody that needs me. But I'm just one guy. You have the training, you have the experience, you have all the knowledge that people need.
But I'm one person too. I just have a microphone.
I know, but many people like you are making a difference. So that's good to see.
Change can only come when we stand together as one, though. So
that's correct.
It takes an army of mental health, as it does with the Marines.
Yes, it does. Wars aren't won by one man or one woman.
Yeah, for the most part. And welcome callers calling in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, and just get some feedback. Usually on days like this, the phone is like ringing off the hook for people kind of giving us like their take on it. But
yeah,
you're doing such a good job explaining it. There's no like controversial. But we were on LinkedIn Live today as well as YouTube, and I wanted to find some of your pictures that I need to do on the next commercial break, but wouldn't.
Oh no!
Here.
The young and able Ben Lofton. Those pictures.
Pretty much. But the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day is pretty big. I mean, when it's a Memorial Day, that's where people are like, mourning the loss of someone sometimes. And so when people go Happy Memorial Day, it's kind of a cliche, but it's like a 3-day weekend for a lot of people. So they want to be like able to celebrate it. But then there's memes out there of somebody crying over a gravesite,
Yeah, everyone's journey is their own, and it's important that we assist each other along that journey. So once again, you're not alone, and we're not alone in this journey. So there's help.
When did we finally leave the corpse, and why? Says Joe from
I
Facebook.
left in 1996, January 5th of 1996. I drove out of the gates of Camp Lejeune, and I wanted to turn the page in my life. I really wanted an education. I drove out of the gates of Camp Lejeune on Friday, and I was happy, and I was in college that next Monday morning in Florida. So that's why I left. I tried to go back my senior year of college. I wanted to fly helicopters, and I went to school in Boston, and I went down to see the recruiter, and they said I was too old. So I was 28 at the time. So I guess there's a restriction on that, but they offered me to be an infantry lieutenant. I told them I had just finished doing that, but so I'll keep marching. It took me a few years to realize how much I loved the Marine Corps and the guys that I was, when you get out, you're kind of like ready to go and excited, but then you look back, like in everyone's life, you look back and those are some of the best years of your life. So I really love being in the Marine Corps. Now that I'm older, I really realize it.
Especially since you survived.
Yeah. I had a very fortunate tour. I was very, very fortunate.
And yeah, so I mean, that's good with no after effects from it.
I had no combat deployments, which is a blessing. Many of my friends did, like they were in Somalia and things like that. Because at that time, under that administration, the Cold War had ended, not in the too distant past, and we were basically policing the world. So they would send Marines and soldiers around places that were in needed to be, policed or kept from becoming a failed state, if you will. So that's kind of the mode we were in at that point. We couldn't foresee that a war on terrorism was there, obviously, and that was part of my job, but no one could foresee 9/11 happening. I think that was part of a lot of these conspiracies. Is it's hard to accept that we were that vulnerable. Nobody could see it, but it happened, and here we are.
Yeah, and who would have thought that
I would never in a million years thought that what happened.
It seems surreal when you're watching it on television when it was. I think everyone that was alive at the time remember where we were when that happened.
Absolutely, yeah. I talk.
And they all have a story about that.
I have a little basically recollection I have every year of that on 9/11, like where I was, what I was doing, and all that. So it's one of those things like Pearl Harbor when JFK was assassinated, things like that just burn into your memory. So
it just does, and then you're glued to CNN for
midnight
watching.
I can't remember going to sleep that whole day. I was on midnight shift. I was a police officer. I still am, but and I'd come off the midnight shift, and I don't think I slept all day. I just watched TV and went to get blood and all that.
I just I was on my way to work and heard it on the radio, and then I that plane hit the Twin Tower, and then I got to work and worked at a counseling center, of course, and they had a group room, and everyone that was working there is glued to the television, and then that's when the second plane hit, and we're like, lock the doors. Are we under attack? It's like it looked like a movie. It's like
I knew we were under attack. The second plane hit. We were watching at the police station. I knew we were under attack. We were under attack. We are. So that changed everything.
But we're not here to talk about that. That's another show.
No. That's a different day.
Different day. Christy Marie says on Facebook, what do you suggest for veterans that want to seek help but are scared about medications and not being able to deploy? I'd say it's okay to seek help and to not every talk therapy, not every therapist will suggest medications. There's other coping skills for post-traumatic stress or anxiety or things like that. It's not always just medications, and that even medications are a personal decision, whether you want to follow the doctor's rules or recommendations or whatever. nobody has to force a pill down someone's throat too. We can just take the suggestions given and go from there. But often, a lot of times, processing it through talk therapy or things such as EMDR, which is a different form of therapy that helps with trauma and emotional breakthrough, and guided imagery, and tools for post-traumatic stress that really can be effective even without medications. And I think a lot of people come back also, and they're injured and needing to get on disability, and I think that's a hard thing too for them as well, is not be able to find a job if they're suffering with symptoms of post-traumatic stress. And so it's different for every individual. I myself help them with that. George,
for me, I would say that, if you're gonna deploy, you have to be combat effective, and if you have a broken leg, you need to get it set and casted and healed. I think mental health is the same way. So, combat effectiveness, you have to be combat effective to be effective. So, it's just another injury that you need, or whatever, that you need to seek help for. Physical therapy for if you're injured, it's the same thing.
You make me so happy. I knew this.
Why is that?
Because you're supporting mental health as a Marine, and it's not easy to always find somebody that will and you're like, why do you want me on the show? I'm like, I have my reasons, because I hear you speak.
I'm not alone. There's a lot of people like me that support me.
Not enough.
Well,
not enough. It's getting there, but not enough.
Yeah.
And George Lofton for YouTube, being
that's
a
my
Marine,
other brother,
and then a police officer. But what was it like for you when 9/11 happened? I kind of just discussed that.
I tried to sign back up in the Marine Corps. I wanted to go go back in. That was my first instinct, was to go back in the Marines. So, but then,
your family's asking guided questions.
I believe in providence and stuff like that. So I went to the Marine Corps recruiter, and they were shut. I'm guessing that they had to regroup or whatever, but they were closed. So, after a little bit of time, I realized I was in the best place. I'm in the place I should be as a police officer on the home front.
Your family knows the questions to ask about the picture behind you.
They're all in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. That's great. These are things I didn't know about you. I didn't know you were trying to sign back up. So
my family's a family of public service. My dad was between fire and police service. He did like 47 years. My mom was a public school teacher for 37. My brother George is past his 30-year mark, I would say. My brother Jimmy's the same way. All of our wives are police officers. My wife is a police officer.
You're a family to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with.
I guess. I don't know. It's what we do.
Anyway, it's time for our second break. And thank you so much for everything that you're saying. And it just makes me so happy that you're supporting mental health as a Marine,
of course,
as well, and police as well. Not everyone gets it, So anyway,
shame on them then.
Yay! Thank you for helping me explain it, and we're gonna take.
I don't know if I did a good job, but
you're doing great.
Okay,
you're doing great. That's exactly what I knew you would do, and thank you for being on and doing this with me. But it's time for a break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hi, and thanks for tuning in, and welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name's Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today I have Corporal Benn D. Lofton from the United States Marine Corps, and he is here to help me describe the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And happy Veterans Day to all. And while we're on the break, we have a caller. And welcome back, Ben, by the way. Corporal Lofton.
Hi, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me again, and happy Veterans Day to everybody.
Happy Veterans Day. And while we were on break, we got a caller. Fred. Fred, thanks for calling in. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, Fred.
Hi, Fred.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for your service, sir. I'm a vet.
Thank you.
Vietnam era, I got out 74.
Welcome home.
And, yeah, you too. You know, no one knows the price of war except the people who went and fought them. You know, with Veterans Day, Memorial Day, this day, that day, my God. The actual Veterans Day today is it was Armistice Day. After World War II, they signed
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It wasn't a year later till some Western countries made it Veterans Day. But, you know, not only on our side, but the other side also, they have veterans. They believed in fighting for their cause or their governments. You know, World War II was one thing. But, you know, all the wars after that, man, you know, it's sad. I love my country. I'll always be there for my country. I took an oath for my country. But some of these politicians, man, it's disgusting. It's a slap in the face to people. I don't think we belonged in Vietnam, but yet we lost so many lives and everything. And all for what? You know, for what? You know, it's just But the people who stepped up, I joined the service, the Navy. I didn't get drafted. In my era, the draft came for Vietnam. A lot of people, they went south or they went north, in Canada. They didn't join up. I wanted to join. And, sure, once I got it, just like everyone else, I was at war with the authority. But you know what? It actually helps you learn about life.
Yes.
From every point of view. And, I don't believe in war now, but I do believe that our nation, we should tend to go more so a mandatory public service at some level. You know what I mean? Not everybody's geared for war. Let's face it. But, make that an option. And another thing that I hope that Tiffany could agree with me on this. When you're coming home and you need a job, and right away they hire you for security or police, and I believe that there should be a downtime. You know what I mean? You're out there in the middle, you're trained to kill, your mind is all kinds of, you're not ready to go into a field like that. You have to take time, a chill out time. I don't know what we would call it. Because there's so much going on, you know what I mean?
Like a transitional time. Transition time?
A transition time.
Yeah,
I mean,
or adjustment.
God, we had these guys coming back from Afghanistan, and that was another joke. But the lives that we lost, our side and on the other side. Now today we have smart bombs. What does that mean? You know what I mean? We spend millions of dollars on a bomb to blow up a hut made of wood. The military complex is the biggest worldwide polluter of everything. I know we need an army. There are the bad guys, and we need to be ready. But, the military complex, we're destroying our own country. We're building more and more bombs for what? How about love? How about we can't take some of that money and put it towards our own citizens that's going on right now? I mean, I don't like even seeing, people talk about the veterans. Oh, well, the veterans should be sleeping outdoors and, help them first before you help immigrants. I don't believe that. You take an oath to defend to do the country. You're more than willing to give up your seat to an immigrant that's escaping the crap that they have to go through. And I just hope for the best, and I hope for peace, world peace. Of course, we'll never find it, but, without being a voice for be, what would we be? And, today I suffered with stage 4 bone cancer. And I'm lucky I had the VA to take care of me. We could take care of a lot of vets. Well, why can't we do that for the rest of the country, too? It's simple.
Yeah.
And, we just have to remove the money from it. But,
I agree with you. We should do more for our
I should with tears in my eyes today because the crap that's going on, and
Yeah, and I feel for you, and thank you for your service, Fred. And we're running out of time, or I could listen to you longer, but I appreciate you calling in and supporting Veterans Day and for supporting Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. And
thanks, Fred.
And thanks for calling in. We have another caller. We have caller Antonio, and welcome to Moments of Clarity, Antonio. Hi,
Ben.
Is this Antonio, my U.S. Army West Point graduate friend?
Yes.
Yes.
Antonio's father was a Marine in the Philippines.
Is a Marine
in the Philippines, yeah.
But I just wanted to ask, if you could grab a veteran who's about to transition and give him or her 2 or 3 bits of advice on the transition, what would you tell them?
Is that a question for me or for Tiffany?
We've got 2 minutes.
Okay. The first thing I would tell them is you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing.
And that there's so many resources out there.
Resources
that will help you with whatever you're struggling with.
And to stay in contact with your friends in the service.
That's a great
Yeah,
question.
I absolutely agree. Because, the camaraderie is something that's very missed by a lot of veterans.
Hard. That's what I struggled with, Antonio, is you're just by yourself all of a sudden, basically.
But you're really not. But it feels
You're not, but you feel like you are, because you go from people that are just like you, almost the same core values, to people that aren't, if that makes sense.
It does. It's a big transition to civilians that don't understand. And
it's not their fault, or it's nobody's fault. It's not a criticism. It's just the reality of it.
Right. Antonio, I gotta let you go. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks,
and
Eggs.
Happy Veterans Day, and we have to wrap up now. Okay, so but Corporal Lofton, thank you so much for being on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and to celebrate and what a great job you did to help explain the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and to pay a tribute to all the veterans out there. And
well, thank you for having me. And I'm glad I can help in any small way. Thank you.
Fun, isn't it? It's fun. To be honest, the radio show can be fun. It can be sad sometimes too, but
it's different. I've never done this before. It's great.
Well, for your first time, you did amazing. So thank you so much, and happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. You're not alone, and there's resources, and it's okay to not be okay. But at the same time, please reach out for help. I'm a TRICARE provider, if you're listening locally, and have helped so many first responders and veterans and things like that. So just consider seeking help if you are having triggers, and the VA is there for you as well. And anyway, happy Veterans Day. Be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. We'll be on tomorrow, every Thursday and Friday, 12 to 1 p.m. and live. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Tiffany.
Moments of clarity. Now I hear. Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear, moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear, moments of clarity.